minutes. So yesterday we were talking about Apex class, where we have seen like public access specifier, private access specifier, how to write any method, right? This method is having return type as void. And these are the methods having return type as integer or string, right? So we have seen that, like how can you call any particular variable or any particular method, right? We have seen those things. So here we have seen like how to call any particular Apex class. Like this is the Apex class where you can create an instance of that particular Apex class. Okay. And this is the particular instance, or what I can say like the object. This F is that particular object or instance by which you can access any particular variable or any particular method. Like using this F, you can access this particular F dot I1 or F dot method one. This way you can do. And we have seen like as if any particular method is or any particular variable is private, you cannot access it directly. Like using F, if you try to access this I2, you will be getting the error. Why? Because the I2 is not visible, it is private. See, same goes to your method as well. If this particular method is private, that means what? The method should not be accessible outside of the Apex class. Okay, like the method 4 I'm trying to access by using this F. Okay, so if you click on execute, see method not visible. Why? Because the method is also private. Okay, the method is also private, so it is not accessible outside of the Apex class. Here, the anonymous window is outside of the Apex class, so obviously you will not be able to access so, right? So these are the limitations. I mean, these are the public or private access specifier. Now talking about more, let's take, this is a particular private method, right? So this method I cannot access from outside of the Apex class. It is giving me error. But if I am calling my method 4 from here, from my method 3, okay, and from here I am calling my method 3. Okay. I am calling my method 3, which is public, and from the method 3 I am calling one method 4, which is private. If you execute this, see method 3 and method 4 both will be executed. Check debug only method 3, then method 4. Better we can go with more scenario. Here method 3 is returning what? String. Method 1 is returned what? String. So let's store it in a variable.
Can you explain again why we see method 4?
No. Method 4 is private.
Okay, it is private.
But from the outside of the Apex class, like from here, you cannot access it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I am doing, I am calling my method 3, which is public. So you can access this,
Mm-hmm.
right? And from method 3, I am calling method 4. So you are not calling the method 4 from here. You are calling simply what? Method 3. So if you are calling method 3, then what will happen? First of all, method 3 will be printed. Then method 4 will be called. System.debug method 4 will be printed, right? Then you are returning str. Str is containing what? Str is containing India. So that India you are storing here and you are printing. Let's see this. Let's see this better. See method 3, method 4 India. How it is coming? You are simply calling that method 3 only, right? So whenever you are calling method 3, what is happening? This is getting printed method 3. Right? Method 3 is printed. After which you are calling method 4 and there you are printing method 4. So see, it is also getting printed method 4, right? And after it is printed, okay, what you are doing? You are returning the method 3 return type. Method 4 also returning that I2. Method 4 is also returning I2, but that I2 you are not storing anything. That is simply returning. Whenever you are calling the method, you are not storing that integer. If you want, you can store that one as well. Let's take integer I. Let's print that I. That one also you can do. So what this I will be containing? I will be containing whatever method 4 is returning. Method 4 is returning I2, which is what? 20. which is 20, and 20 you are storing here and you are printing. So if you do that, debug only, here ultimately what you are getting, you are calling method 3, so that is printed. After that you are calling method 4, so method 4 is getting executed. You can check over there, method 4, and method 4 is returning what? Integer, that is 20. So 20 you are returning as well as you are printing. So here see 20 is printed, and after that you are returning what? String from method 3. So if you are returning string, you are storing it here in the S, and S you are printing. So S is containing what? India. So that's why India is also getting printed. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that's simple. So these are similar, very similar kind of methods with different method chaining. Like from method, you can call another method. From method 3, you can call method 2 as well. That is up to you, how you want to call. Okay, you can call any method from anywhere. That's it. You can call method 4 from method 3. You can call method 2 from method 3. You can call method 3 from method 2. Anything, arbitrary. Any method you can call from anywhere. Okay, that's the thing. But if it is private method, you cannot access it from outside of the Apex class. Okay. And if it is public, you can access it from outside of the Apex class as well. That's it. Okay. Now these are what kind of method? These are known as non-parameterized method. And what is non-parameterized? Non-parameterized means inside of this parameter, inside of these brackets, no parameters are there. Inside of this bracket, no parameters are there. Okay, so that's why these are known as non-parameterized methods. These are non-parameterized. Then what is parameterized method? How a parameterized method looks like? Let's take public. Okay, it can be private as well, but I am taking it is public. Here the method is returning, let's take string. You can return void as well. Okay, this can be private, this can be string, this can be integer, this can be void, anything it can be. And the method name is method 5. So this is what a simple method, right? But currently this method is taking some parameters. How? Let's take the parameters are string str1, string st2, and integer I. And here you are returning some string concatenation. Let's say you are writing st1, then plus space st2 plus space then I. So if you see here, I am passing what? Some parameters. These are known as parameters. And these parameters can be anything. Like it can be string, it can be integer, it can be boolean, it can be date, it can be decimal, it can be list, it can be set, it can be map, it can be anything. And any number you can pass here. There is no specific number. Like you can pass only one parameter. Here I am passing how many parameters? 3 parameters. These are variables. Like string is the data type and st1 is the variable name. String is the data type, st2 is the variable name. Integer is the data type, I is the variable name. So here you can pass n number of parameters. Like currently I am passing how many parameters? 1 parameter, 2 parameter, 3 parameters. 3 parameters I am passing. If you want, you can pass 2 string. If you want, you can pass string 1 and integer also. If you want, you can pass only string. Okay. If you want, you can pass only integer. Anything you can pass. Parameters means some of the parameters some of the arguments you are passing over it. And these are the variable names. So variable name means what? That is up to you what you want to give. These are the data types. So this is fixed. But st1, st2, I, this is up to you. What name you want to give. That can be anything, up to you. Now I want to call this method. So how can you call it? Simply you can call it here method 5. It is also what? It is a public method. So I can call it by using the f. So I am writing f.method 5. But if you click on execute, it will be giving you error. Method doesn't exist. Why? Because currently the method 5 takes 3 parameters. It takes 3 parameters. So those parameters exactly same way you have to pass. Like here, suppose I'm writing Murat. Then I'm writing, let's take shape. And then I'm passing, let's take 20. So here, if you see very clearly, this value Murat, it is what? String, because it is present inside of the single quote. Second value, it is also a string because it is present inside of the single quote. But here it is what? It is an integer 20. So exactly same type of data you have to pass in similar order. Like here, whenever you are calling the method 5, what you are passing? Murat. So this Murat is getting stored where? st1. Your sake is getting stored where? Inside of st2. And 20, it is getting stored where? Inside of I. And ultimately what you are doing? Here st1 is containing Murat. So Murat space st2, that is sake, space I, that is 20. So if you click on execute, then what should be your outcome? What should be your outcome? Murat shake 20. That's the value you are printing here. Whatever the method 5 is returning, you are storing it in S. So S is printing. If you are printing S, so this is the one. Now tell me, is it clear or not? So this is known as your parameterized method because you are passing some parameters. These are non-parameterized because no parameters are there. Okay, but here if at least one parameter is there, then it is parameterized method. Now tell me, it is clear or not?
It is clear. It is enough clear.
Okay, so this is what parameterized method. Next thing that I want to discuss. That is what is constructor. And constructor is like, suppose here, forget about this. Here, whenever you are creating a memory allocation, okay, like here, you are calling what? You are creating an instance or object of a particular class. So whenever you are doing that memory allocation, I mean, if you remember on the sessions I have already mentioned, there is a new keyword, right? So what this new keyword does, this new keywords allocates a new memory for that particular variable in the CPU. Like this new keyword is allocating some memory for this variable f in the CPU, and this f of type what? It is of type object of this particular first Apex class, right? That means this new keyword is allocating some memory for this variable f in the CPU of the cloud, right? And who does this memory allocation? I mean, you are writing this new keyword and the memory is getting allocated, but who is doing that memory allocation in real time? That is done by the constructor. And how a constructor looks like? A constructor look like this: public, I mean access specifier, then the variable name, Apex class name. So if you see the particular Apex class constructor, it is similar to your method only, but without any return type. Constructor is nothing but a method only without any return type, and the constructor name has to be exactly same with the Apex class name. Constructor name has to be exactly same with the Apex class name, and it is of without any return type. So this, I mean, this particular Apex constructor only doing that memory allocation. Like here I can write system.debug constructor called. Now I am not calling this constructor. I'm not calling this constructor. I'm just simply allocating some memory for the variable f in the CPU. If you do that, debug, you can see here constructor called is coming. How it is coming, why it is coming? Because whenever you are doing some memory allocation for this variable f in the CPU, okay, this constructor is getting called. Okay, so here is the proof that this is getting called. Constructor called is coming. So normally I am not calling my constructor, but whenever you are doing a memory allocation, this is getting called automatically. That's why it is getting printed constructor called, right? So this constructor, even if you are not writing this, this is by default created. That's why it is known as non-parameterized constructor or default constructor. Like whenever you are doing a memory allocation, even if you are not writing it, behind your presence, this constructor is getting created automatically. So you don't have to bother about it. Okay, this is getting created automatically. So no issues. Okay, but okay, if you want to see a proof, right, then you can write it. Okay. Now from this first Apex class constructor, you can call any method also. Like I'm calling method 1. Okay. Now, if you call this, then what will happen? Constructor will be called as well as the method will be called. Whenever I'm not calling my method 1, but I want whenever this class is getting some memory in the CPU, method 1 should be called. So click on execute. Debug only here. See, constructor called method 1. Why this method 1 is coming? Because from my constructor, from my default constructor, I'm calling the method 1. That's why. Clear?
I am confused.
Where?
Can you explain one more time
Which one?
the constructor?
Okay, just a second. So I was telling what your constructor is doing here. It is creating some memory for this Apex class. Here, what you are doing, what this new keyword does, it does some memory allocation for the variable in the CPU. And if you see, I am not calling this constructor, right? But if you click on execute, see, this is coming. Constructor called is coming. Why it is coming? Here in the console, are you calling your constructor? No. But it is coming, right? It is getting called. That's why it is getting printed. That means what? It is a non-parameterized constructor because no parameters are there. As well as it is known as default constructor. Means whenever you are creating some memory allocation for your class, this constructor will be called automatically. If you are not writing this, behind your presence, this gets automatically. This gets created automatically. Even if you are not writing, this gets created automatically. But I am writing it. Let's take I am writing it. Now is it clear or still query or where you are facing the query? Let me know about that. Alright.
Okay, it is better. Okay.
See, don't keep any confusion. If you are having any confusion, just let me know.
Okay, sure.
Okay, don't put any confusion because these are very basic stuffs and these are indeed needed everywhere. Without this, you cannot move forward. Simple. Okay, so anytime you feel free to ask any doubts. Okay, so this is what like a constructor, but this is having no parameters inside. So that means what? It is a non-parameterized constructor. Now I want to call a parameterized constructor. Let's take, I'm passing here string s. And here I'm writing parameterized constructor called, parameterized constructor called, and here I'm printing it system.debug. Value is s. Value is s. Okay. So here, if you are calling this particular constructor, then this will be called, this is a default constructor. This is default constructor called. But if you are calling this particular parameterized constructor, you can pass here some value, right? The value I am passing, let's take A, B, C. Now you are calling what? You are passing some value. Whenever you are doing some memory allocation, you are calling your what? Calling your constructor. But currently you are passing what? On value. What is the value? ABC. ABC is getting stored where? Here. In the S it is getting stored. That means whenever you are doing this, you are not calling your default constructor. You are calling your parameterized constructor. If you click on execute, see this will be called. Check. Parameterized constructor called value is ABC. That means what? If you are doing like this, you are not calling the non-parameterized or default constructor at all. You are calling your parameterized constructor. Fine. Is it fine, Murat?
Okay, it's fine. Okay. I am trying to do same things.
Okay, if you are facing any issues, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hold for you a couple of minutes. You do it and let me know. Murat, we are good to proceed.
Okay. Okay,
Or
can keep going.
you need any explanations again? Let me know if you have any queries.
No.
So this way, if you want to call your non-parameterized constructor, what you can do? Do not pass any parameters here. And as I have said, always use defined variable names. So F1, F2 like that. Now using F1 also you can call your I1. Using F2 also you can call the I1. Because, sorry, F2 also you can call the I1, right? System dot debug. Okay, because both are same class. F1 belongs to class. F1 belongs to same class. Same way F2 also belongs to same class. Now click on execute. See, it will give you same result. So the constructor is either default constructor or either default or parameterized constructor or non-parameterized constructor. But the ultimate thing is, both are getting printed as 10. Both are printing 10 because F1 is also first apex class, F2 is also first apex class. So it doesn't matter, it is parameterized constructor or non-parameterized constructor. You can call your methods or parameters. You can call your methods like method 1, method 2, method 3 like that, or your parameters like I1, str by using either F1 or F2 because both belongs to same class only. Both are instance, both are example of same class. So using that one, you can access very easily. Is it clear or not? Or do you have to explain again?
No. Okay, it is.
Clear, right?
Yeah, it is clear.
Okay.
A conditioner make it message.
This is one. Now, this type of thing that we are going to do, that is static and non-static. What is that? Let's take
What?
static and non-static.
Okay.
Suppose this particular variable I'm making as static. So as the method. Forget about these particular things. Suppose this particular variable I1 is static as well as the method M1, method 1 is also static. Now I want to call my I1, I want to call I1 as well as I want to call method. So I want to call string. So here I'm writing system dot debug f1 dot str. So you can do that. Similar way, using f1, you can call method 2 as well as you can call method 1. Now see the difference. Here see this variable I1 is static, string is non-static, method 1 is static, method 2 is non-static because the static keyword is not there. Execute. See, static field cannot be referenced from a non-static context. The thing is, like whenever any particular variable or any particular method is static, it is known as static, it is crowned as static. In that case, if you want to access that particular attribute or the method, you have to access it by using class name. Like here, this way you have to access first apex class dot variable name, first apex class dot method name. So if you see this particular I1 as it is static, you will not be accessing that particular variable using the F1. You have to access that variable using the class name dot variable name, class name dot method name. You are not going to write like this. Here I have to call my method 2 using F1. Why? Because this method is non-static, or this str variable is non-static, so I'll be calling like this. But as my I1 or my method 1, these are static methods or static variables, so I have to call it by using class name dot method name or class name dot variable name. Check 10 India method 2 method 1. Same value is only coming here. This is 10 India method 2 method 1. But the thing is, like how you are calling it, a static method you will be calling by using class name dot method name, class name dot method name, and a non-static method you will be calling by using the instance dot method name. It is clear, right, Murat?
Okay.
Here just remember, if you are making any particular variable a static, you have to call it by using class name dot variable name. Like this method 1, it is static. So how I am calling it? Class name dot method name, class name dot variable name. But if it is non-static, like this str, it is non-static, no static keyword. Or this method 2, it is non-static, no static keyword. In that case, how I am accessing? By using the instance dot variable name, instance dot method name. Then what is the difference between the static keyword and instance keyword? Suppose, let's see the example using this. Forget about the system debug. Suppose this particular variable str is there. Now this str I can call n number of times, right? I can call it how many times I'm calling it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times I'm calling this particular variable str. So it is what? It is non-static or also known as instance. Non-static also referred to as instance. Instance means what? Example, right? So non-static. This str is what? Non-static. So it we also refer as instance. Now, if it is a non-static method, or non-static variable, here you are calling it how many times? 6 times. So 6 times a new memory will be allocated for str. Here, if you call a particular str variable from the str variable you are calling, which is a non-static or instance, it is an instance variable or non-static variable. So 6 times you are calling, so 6 times a new memory will be allocated for this variable str. Now let's call this I1 again and again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here see I am calling this I1 also 6 times. But only for the first time memory will be allocated for I1. For the next 5 times, we will refer to that same memory allocation. I mean, if you are talking about this instance, this str or non-static or instance, you are calling it 6 times. 6 times memory will be allocated for this str. But here, this I1, which is a static, you are calling it 6 times. Okay, so as it is a static variable, memory will be allocated only for the first time. For the remaining 5 times, okay, we will refer to that same memory allocation. For the first time only, memory will be allocated. For the next 5 times, we will refer to the same memory allocation. That's it. That's the difference in instance. And how can you call your static variable or method? By using class name dot variable name, class name dot method name. But if it is instance, then you create an instance like this, and using that one you will create an instance name dot variable name, instance name dot method name. And for instance, every time you call it, every time memory will be allocated. For static, only for the first time memory will be allocated. For the next times, we will refer to that same memory allocation again and again. That's the difference. Clear?
Yes.
Now there are also other things. Let's take system.debug. I'm writing str. Check. Here, if you are trying to call any non-static variable, str is what? Non-static. If you try to call any non-static variable from a static method, it will give you error. Variable doesn't exist. So the conclusion is you cannot call your non-static variable from a static method. We cannot call non-static variable from static method. That is first conclusion. Second conclusion is what? Let's take I am calling I1. So see, I1 I can call. Why? Because from a static method I can call a static variable. I1 is static. That means what? But we can call static variable from static method. Next, forget about this. Let's forget. Suppose this method 1 static. From method 1, I am calling method 2. From method 1, I am calling method 2. Check. Non-static method you cannot call from a static method. Non-static method you cannot call from a static method. That is also a conclusion. Non-static method cannot be called from static method. Non-static method cannot be called from static method. But okay, but if you are making this particular method as static, then you can call one static method from static method. From method 1, I am calling method 2, but now my method 2 is also static, so I can call it. But we can call static method from another static method. And number 3, suppose from method 2, which is a non-static method, method 2, let's take it is a non-static method, and method 1 is a static method. Now from my method 2, I am going to call method 1. From method 2, I am going to call method 1. See, I can do that. That means from a non-static method, you can call static. From a static method, you cannot call non-static. You cannot. But from a non-static method, method 2, it is a non-static. From there, I can call method 1, which is a static. So that is permissible. We can call static method from non-static methods. These are the conclusions. Right, these are the conclusions. Now tell me, Murat, is it clear or not? Hello?
Now, okay, it is clear. I am writing them. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is also one thing. So this is about Apex class. Now using the Apex class, we have to see some real-time example. So I'll be creating one Apex class. Let's take Apex example class. So this is Apex class I am creating. Here I'm writing one method. Let's take public static void get accounts. And here I'm writing another method, public static void get contacts. Get contacts. So here I want, let me go to the account record page. Here I want user can search by any particular account record name. So if by using that name account record is present in database, then for that particular account record, you have to search for child contact. If the child contact is also present, we will print that contact. If the child contact is not present, we will show like no child contact found. What I said, if a user is trying to search by account name, okay, if the account record is not present, we will show something like account record not found. But if the account record is already there, then for that specific account, we have to search for contact. If the contact record not found, you will show like no contact record found in the database. But if the contact record is there, those contact record you have to print in database. I mean in the console. How can you do that? First of all, I'm taking one method that is get account. There I'm passing ACC name. So this ACC name will be containing that particular account record that will be entered by user. You can simply access that particular Apex class name. I mean, sorry, this is the method name. You can simply access Apex class name dot method name. And inside of this particular method name, you can pass the account record name like ABC, suppose I'm passing. So by using this ABC, I have to get the record from database. So Murat, can you tell me like what exactly shall I write here to get, I mean, to retrieve the account record from database using this ABC? Currently, I'm passing this ABC inside of the get accounts method. So ACC name is containing that ABC. Now, by using that ACC name or ABC, how can I get the account record from database? Can you tell me? Right. How to get records from database? Going correct.
System debug.
No, system debug is for printing. I am talking about like how to retrieve the records from database. I want this particular account name will be passed into the ACC name. And based on this particular account name, you have to get the data from database with this ABC name. You have to get the account record from database. The account record name contains the name as ABC. If the name equals to ABC, you have to retrieve the account. How can you do that? How can you retrieve the account? SQL, right? By using SQL query only, you can retrieve a record from database, right? What I said, like whenever you are writing a SQL, you have to write it inside of the square bracket. So let's write it. Select ID,
Okay, so
name, rating from
From
account
account.
where name equals to colon ACC name. It's a little bit different where the name equals to ACC name equals colon ACC name. Okay, so here name is a field under account object, but this ACC name is a variable. Now, as this ACC name is a variable, it can contain any value. Like normally you can write a query like this, where name equals to ABC, right? You can write equals to ABC, is returning you a particular records. Currently 0 account record found in database with that name ABC. So it is returning you 0. But if the name is containing any suitable value, so that value is depending, that is not fixed, that is not static. So here you are checking where the name equals to colon the value that will be stored inside of ACC name. That ACC name contain anything. So this is known as dynamic SQL. Why dynamic SQL? Because this ACC name can contain any value in it. And based on the value stored in ACC name, your outcome, your result is going to be changed. Is it clear?
Yes, it is just we need to. I need to practice more and more.
No, the concept I'm talking about.
That's the concept.
Here it is a dynamic SQL. Why it is dynamic? Because here you are not passing a value like this. You are passing a variable, and that variable can contain anything. If the ACC name is containing ABC, you are not getting the account. But if the ABC, if the name is containing American Banking Corporation, you will be getting that account. That means based on the value stored in ACC name, your outcome is changed. Right?
Okay.
So this is known as what? Dynamic SQL. And this is known as binding, variable binding in SQL. If it is a variable, normally if it is normal name, you can search like this. Fine, that is fine. But I want to check by variable. So whenever you want to check by variable, you have to write equals colon. So equals colon will bind this variable value with the name field. And what will be the return type of this particularly? Of this particular SQL? From the previous session, if you remember, what is the return type of this particular SQL?
Can you ask again?
What is the return type of this SQL? What it will return you? It will return you something, right? So what it is returning? That's what I'm asking. It is returning you list of object. Which object? Which object it is returning you? Account object. Because you are querying from which object? From account object. Right. Then give one variable name. Let's say variable name is ACC. Now, can you tell me when this ACC list will be empty? If we are not getting any account record in database with that name, like here, if you execute this, what it is returning you? 0. When it will be 0? If using that account name, there is no record found in database, right? So I'll check here simply if ACC list dot size, if the size of the list is greater than 0, then fine, we'll write our logic. But else, if the list size is not greater than 0, in that case, what I will write? I will write system dot debug no account found with the name. Here I am writing ACC name. Okay. Now let's suppose I am calling this particular method. I am passing here ABC, and this is a static method, so I can write it apex class name dot method name. Here I am passing ABC. You are passing over ACC name. Then the ACC name. So you are writing a query like select ID name rating from account where name equals to ABC. And currently ACC list is containing what? 0 elements. You can see, you can check here from the query. So it is giving you what? 0. That means what? The list size is going to be 0. So here you are checking if the list size is greater than 0, you are doing something. But here currently our list size is equals to 0. In that case, what should be your outcome? Outcome should be this else block. No account found with the name of ABC. Let's execute. That should be your outcome. Check no account found with the name ABC. Okay, but if you are getting that account record, if the SSC list size is greater than 0, that means in the database the record is there. Let me write here limit. Limit will not limit the number of records coming from database, right? So if the list size is greater than 0, if the SSC list is containing account records, in that case, what I can do? In that case, I can take out the account ID. Currently, SSC list is containing multiple account records. So from there, I have to get the account ID. How can I get the account ID? First of all, SSC list dot get 0. Suppose using this SQL, we are getting only one account record. So this SSC list is a list of account. So under that list, you have that account record. How can you access that account record? By using get then index. I'm writing here 0. So that single account record I'm accessing. From that account record, you can write ID. That means you are accessing the account ID. And let's store it in a variable. Let's take SSC ID. And here also, I am passing that account ID as a parameter. Let's check this get context method I'm querying from here. And there I am passing this SSC ID. That means whatever the account record ID I am getting, that I'll be passing inside of my get context method. Okay, so here, if the SSC list size is greater than 0 means what? Based on that your account name, account record is there in database. So if the account record is there in database, I have to get the associated context for it. First of all, what I need the account ID for that account. So I'm getting that particular account ID. SSC list.get0 will return you the account record. From the record, you are getting the account ID. And you are simply passing that variable inside of the get context method. Right. So here the SSC ID is containing that account ID by which you are searching. That one you are passing here. Now here you can simply write a list of contact. On list. Select ID, name, email from, contact, where account ID equals to colon this variable. And you can simply print the console. You can simply print the contacts. Contacts are, you can print in that list itself. Now, if I pass this, then no account found. Simple. Because using this account record, no record is there in database. So no account record found. But what if this particular account record I'm passing? What if I am passing this particular account record? So for this account record, you have that contact. This is the contact record found, Betty Wire. So if I do that, that means what? Currently, SSC list will be containing that account record. So that account record ID, American Banking Corporation ID you are getting, you are passing inside of this get context method. And by using that, you are querying from the contact list. Let's execute. Debug only. See, this is the contact, Betty Wire. What if the con list size is less than 0? So let's check that. If con list dot size, if it is greater than 0, then fine. Else system.debug.
Just make it less.
Okay. No contacts are present for the account record. Now for this account, you are getting that contact, so it is getting printed. Let's find one account record for which no contacts are there. Suppose this is account record. Let's check. For this one, contacts are not there. So I am searching by that particular account record. Let me find it here, BB. So if I click on execute, okay, the account record is there. right? Account record is there, but no contact is found. So no contacts are present for the account record. So here, using BB, you are getting that particular account record. So ACC list size is greater than 0. That means you are calling this get contacts method where you are passing the account ID. Account ID of what? Account ID of the BB.
Onu bırakacağız da mangal oynayalım.
Then using
Gel
the
mangal oynayalım.
BB ID, you are trying to get the contact list. But as the contact list size is equals to 0, you are getting this one as an outcome. No contact are present for the account record. If the child contacts was there present for that particular account record, then what should have been your outcome? Outcome should have been contacts are in con list.
Sos makinesini yap.
Can you check number line and number 12? You wrote get contacts
Which line?
number 7. Line 7. Can you
Number 7.
did you write correct?
Yeah.
Is it
This is the
important?
method I am calling.
It is contact or
Sorry. I mean, what you are telling, I am not getting.
the get contacts or did you write correct? It
It is a method, right? This method I am calling from here.
okay.
And in that method, you are
I-
passing the account ID as a parameter, parameterized method.
Okay. Okay. Get con ATCTC. It is correct, right?
So this is method name. It is up to you. This method name
Okay.
can be anything. This is totally up to you.
Oh, okay.
That method name simply.
I
I'm
just
calling.
okay.
Gel.
I think it must be contacts. Okay, it depends on me. Okay.
Okay, it is giving you some error, right? Whenever you are writing get contact.
Okay.
Ya anne şunu. Tamam. Aman Allah'ım. Anne şunu. Peki mi? Peki. Bir dakika. Şunu baba.
Tamam.
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 Tost makinesi yap. Tost makinesi yap. Yok. Hayır. Böyle sığmadı ya. Ama böyle.
Yukarısı serilmiş. Baktınız mı?
Yok. Bakın bu tabu şişeyi. Ya burada değil.
En ucuzu Vestel Airfed. Yarım akşam bir yaptı alayım ya. Yok.
Anne şu var. Anne.
Şu anda.
Anne yap şimdi. Bakın ben ya.
Arada şeye dalıyor ya. Arada şey geliyor mu? Bakıyor da.
Bunlar da böyle değil ama. Hayır böyle amacı. Koltuğun altına koy. Hayır. Sen bu koltuğun altına dur.
Boğazım doldu ya.
Sen gel git şuradan. Ben oyun oynadım da. Biraz bırak ya. Ay. Lan Beki. Gel babayla oyna. Gel sen. Babayla oyna. Sen burada. Oynarsın. Anne. Tamam da abiyle oynayalım. Bir abiyle oynayalım. Sonra seninle oynayalım. Bekleyin abi. Bunları ben de alacağım. Ben başlıyorum. Hey ondan bir tane daha olacak. Yoksa nasıl alacağım? Hadi ya. Hem sen sıralı geliyorum oynamaya. Ya var.
Murad, is it clear? Hello?
Yeah, I am here. Do we have more for today?
More examples. You want more examples?
No, it is very crowded here.
It is
I am not focusing.
okay. Where exactly you are facing the issue? Tell me.
We end the session if it is okay.
You tell me like where exactly you are facing the issue. Based on that, I will be telling you.
Sessiz olsana ya. Anlamıyorum.
I cannot hear you.
I am not able to understand because of my sons.
Because of your
My sons.
okay, okay. In that case, you can keep him aside in a different room. Maybe. I think that will be better for you to understand, right?
Just one. So it is very hot. We have just two air conditioners. We are not able to get cold. All rooms. It is about 40 centigrade degrees today.
Okay, the example is clear to you or not, or not clear, right?
Example is clear.
Here. Then let's see another example. Okay, let's see another example with this. That is, I mean, if this example is clear, like currently you are getting all the account name based on the name, and if the account record is there, you are getting the associated context for it. If the context is there, you are printing it. If the context is not there, you are printing like no context found. Now I want to get some cases. If you see under account, we have a case object as well. I want to get the cases based on account industry. Like here, I want to query by using industry. Okay, I want to query based on industry. Okay, and whenever you write by based on industry, it is possible multiple accounts are getting returned. Let's take I'm querying by where industry equals to energy. So if you do that, you will get here all the account records with industry energy. 6 accounts are there. 6 accounts are you are getting. Now for those individual account records, I want to get the child cases. I want to get the child cases. That's what I want. Let's change the method name to get cases. Let's involve with the industry. This is industry. The logic is also going to be same way, but will be a little bit different. Here I am querying based on my account industry. Let's take you are searching by account industry. You are getting total 6 accounts. Now for those individual accounts, you have to print the child cases. So if the ACC list size is not greater than 0, that means what? Using the industry, you are not getting any account record at all. Let's take here I'm making any spelling mistake. Then in that case, it will return me 0. So I'm checking that if my ACC industry of my or my this particular ACC list is containing no element, I'm writing here no account found with the industry ACC industry. But if the list size is greater than 0, if the list size of the ACC list is 0, that means here I'm getting how many accounts? Let's take 6 accounts. So for individual accounts, you have to get the cases. So what I can do? I can write here a for loop. I can write here a for loop over the ACC list. Okay, Murat, can you tell me, like if I am writing a for loop over the ACC list, what shall I write on the left? Hello?
Okay.
I want to write a loop over my ACC list. What shall I write on the left? What kind of data it is containing? What is your, I mean, what you are storing in the ACC list? Account, right?
Account.
What you are storing? What is there? Account. In the ACC list, what you are storing? Account. So write it on the left. Then one variable name. This is a for each loop. How to write a for each loop? Write the container on the right side. On the left side, write the variable name. What is the variable? Account. Then one variable, I mean, sorry, data type. Data type you have to write. Then the variable name. Variable name can be anything. Like I'm like getting ACC. Then what you have to do? Inside of the get cases, I am passing acc.id. I am passing acc.id. Okay. Now this get cases method will be called where you are passing the account ID, acc.id. And if you are doing that, for the first time, ACC will be containing the first account record. And for the first account record, you have passing the ID. You are passing the ID inside of the get cases. For the next time, you are passing the second account ID inside of the get cases. Third time, you are passing the third account ID inside of get cases, right? And here, you are getting what? Simply write a list of case list, select ID, subject, status from case where account ID equals colon ACC ID. I mean this particular variable. Now here also check the case list dot size. If it is greater than 0, then one thing else, writing system.debug no case found for the account. Otherwise, if it is list is greater than 0, in that case, system.debug, I'm writing case list. Now simply here in this particular method, I'll be passing energy. So if you pass here energy, what it will return you? This will return you this query. Select ID, name, rating from account, hire industry goes to energy. And this is returning you what? These 6 accounts it is returning you. So these 6 accounts are stored where? In the SCC list. That means currently the list size is greater than 0. So if it is greater than 0, you are looping over that particular SCC list. For the first time, what is happening? For the first time, whenever this loop is running, okay, your ACC is containing the first account record, this one, sample account entitlement. And for that first account record, you are passing the account ID inside of the get cases. That means you are simply calling this cases method, and here you are passing the first account ID. This account ID you are passing over here. And based on that account ID, you are querying from the database for the case object. Select ID subject status from case where account ID is equal to this one. So you are getting what? For the first account, let's check you are having 3 cases. So these 3 cases you will be stored in here in the case list. And you are checking if the case size is greater than 0, you are printing it. Otherwise, you are printing what? No case found. Similar way, this loop is running. Again, this ACC list is containing more elements. This get cases method is called for the first account. Similar way, ACC will be containing the second account record. Second account record ID, you are passing inside of the get cases method here. And second account ID, based on the second account ID, you are getting what? A list of case from database again. Right. So now this case list size you are checking if it is greater than 0. Again, you are printing that case list. Right. And if it is not, then you are printing like no account, no case found. Again, this loop will run. ACC will be containing the third account. And for the third account ID, you are passing inside of the get cases. And based on that, you are querying the cases. Now, let me include that. Let me query. Let's see. Check for the first account, no cases are found. That means for sample account, no cases. For United Oil and Gas, UK and Singapore, for UK, I am getting 1 case. For Singapore, I am getting how many cases? One case, 2 case, 3 cases are there. For the third account, how many cases are there? 1 case, 2 case, 3 case, then 4 case, 5 case records are there. For the last 2 accounts, no cases found. That's how I'm getting. Now, first of all, you understand the logic properly and let me know, because I do not think like we can move forward if we do not have the logic over the list set map or the class. Maybe for today, 1 hour session is enough.
Oh, okay, it is enough.
But you just let me know if this concept is clear or not, how I am doing this. Because next topic is trigger. That is your actual backend part of Salesforce. We cannot move there until you have the clarity over here.
Okay, you are right.
And before moving forward tomorrow, you have to be clear about these concepts as well. So you just let me know if this concept is clear or not.
So, some of them partly clear out. Some of them I am confused about some of them. Actually, it is clear, but just we have to memorize them.
No. Why memorize? It's logic. It's logic.
It is. I know it is logic. Yeah.
It's never memorize. Simple.
I think you can stop the record if. How many sessions do we have to complete the developer part?
You have a lot.
A lot?
Yes, we have a lot.
3 months, 4 months.
At least we need 2 months.
Gidiyorum bekle.
At least we need 2 months. You have to understand these things very clearly. Very clearly means very clearly. Without these, you cannot proceed. If you need time, take time, but you have to be good with these concepts. And for this, as I have already mentioned, complete the tasks. That list set map task, maybe we can discuss tomorrow, no issues. But first of all, we will complete those, then only we will move forward. Okay.
Okay.
You just go through the session and let me know if doubts are there. I'll look into this. Okay.
Okay. What is it?
Okay, then let's wrap up. I'll let Arkan know like I have taken only 1 hour session.